Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome students to the online lecture number 6 of the mobile application development course. Today we are going to see how we can pass data in different activities. So in the previous class we were discussing explicit intents, and we discussed that explicit intents are used to transfer the control from one activity to another activity or launch one activity from another activity. But we can also pass data within activities. So you can create explicit intents, you can attach data to it, and then you can pass that data to another activity. And similarly, you can reply a message to the first activity telling that how you have processed data, and like what is the answer or whatever the second activity has done with the data of the first activity. So with that, today's outline is that we already discussed explicit intents and the constraint layout. We are done with the design part of our app. So today we are going to see how to pass data using intents. So with that, let me once again give you an overview of what we were doing in the previous class. So we created these two activities, the main activity and the second activity. And we said that when clicking on the send button, we are navigated to the second activity. And then we customized or changed this second activity, and we also added like we can receive the message over here in the second activity, but we also added this replay edit text and this replay button, and we can pass the data from the second activity to the main activity as well. So with that, let us go straight to our application. So we are done with this design. So this is the design for our first activity. So you can see over here, these are in visible text view, and this is the design for our second activity. Okay, let me go to the design tab. Okay, so this is the design for our second activity, and now today we are going to once again go to the main activity, and here I am going to add some code. And this code in fact will be about how to pass data from this main activity to the second activity. But before that, let me add some multi-line comments. So we'll add multi-line comments by putting these two static after the forward slash, and then here I can say handles the data in the return intent from second activity. So we are going to handle the data and return from the intents from the second activity. But what are the parameters that we are going to use? So the first one is the request code, and this is in fact the code for the second activity. All right, request. So we are going to request the second activity to send a request code for us, so that code will be stored in the request code. And then we can similarly add another parameter, and this one is the result code, and this is code that comes back from second activity. All right, and then we can also add the data. So the result code is actually the code that comes back from second activity, whereas the request code is the code that we requested, that okay, you have to send this request code for us. So we are going to see this practically in a moment. And what is the data? The data is the data which we want to pass from the second activity. So data, intent data, send back from second activity. Okay, with that, let us in fact I'm not going to write a code that handles the second activity, but here um, like I'm just going to you know I'm just going to go straight to the second activity, and I'll show you how we catch this intent in the second activity. So let's go to the second activity. So there is nothing so far in the second activity, but we are going to add some code. So the first thing is I'm going to add a unique tag for the intent reply. So this will be public static final string extra underscore reply. And what is it? It is in fact just the package name. You can add the package name, and then you can at the end you can simply set that dot replay. So this is the extra replay code that represent your second activity. So this is a unique tag for the intent replay. Okay, so with that, let me now add or get some declare some reference variables. So private. The first one is of course the edit text, and this is going to we are going to get the replay. We are going to type the replay in this edit text. Okay, with that, let us go inside the onCreate method, and here I am going to write mReplay assignment operator find view by id r.id dot edit text. Yeah, edit text second. And then with that, we are going to here we are going to get the intent that we were receiving from the first activity. So how you get the intent? So this is an important part. So you simply okay, let me comment it out. Get the intent that launch this activity, and the message in the intent extra. So yeah, intent, and now we write a built-in method called get intent. So let me import the intent in this class. Okay, so this intent is going to receive the intent and the data that you passed from the second activity. So now we know that we also passed the data. So what we can do, we can simply write string message intent dot get string extra, and then of course we are going to get the string of the main activity dot extra message. So remember that extra message was this message, like we define it, this was the key for like this the first activity, and if we have this key we can get the message. And then we can say text view dot set text message. Okay, but I think we haven't defined and declared this text view, so it is better to get the text view. So I'm going to straight away get our text view here. So it is text view find view by id r.id dot text message. Okay, so I think I should restart my activity because I'm going to confirm whether or not we are able to receive the data from the first activity in the second activity. Okay, I think we have some error, and let me check out this error. Changes were not applied. Add variable does not support value initialization. So yeah, let me see the logcat. I think we declared those variables, but we were not able to use them. Okay, so no worry, I'm going to complete this activity, and then later on I can rerun this app. Okay, now that we are done with receiving an intent, so uh, once again I'm going to add multi-line comments. Yeah, and here I can say handles the on click for the replay button gets the message from the second edit text, creates an intent and return that message back to the main activity. So I think this is very much clear to you. We are going to handle the on click for the replay button, get the message from the second edit text, create an intent, and returns the message back to the main activity. Okay, with that, let us create public void return replay view, and then I'm going to pass on the replay. So of course first we have to get the message from the replay. So get text to string. Okay, so we get the text this uh, from this edit text, and now we are going to further. Yeah, here I'm going to write create a new intent for the replay and add the replay message to it, and then as an extra set the intent result and close the activity. Okay, so now here we are going to send data back to our main activity. So for sending data, or for sending navigating to the first activity, you know that we have to declare explicit intent, because we already know to which activity we are going to go. So that is why we are using the explicit intent. Okay, so we created that intent object, and now we can use this intent object and put some data. And that data is extra underscore replay. We are going to use this key value pair, and then set result. So the result is okay. So this is the request code that we were asking, and then pass the replay intent. And then I'm going to finish this activity. So what this is, in fact, the result code is actually yeah, this is that result code. So we also send the we are also expecting the request code, which like we are requesting uh, like start activity for result, the second activity, but we also have this result code. Okay, so the result is okay, and then we pass on the second intent, and then we finish the activity. Now we are done with the second activity, and let us come back to the first activity. And here I am going to handle the intent coming from the second activity. All right, so we can use a public void method, and on activity result, which in fact is our hidden method. Okay, so here I'm going to write at the rate or write okay, I think we are doing well. So public void on activity result. So what were we doing? We were expecting the request code, the result code, and intent data. And because this is our hidden method, so in order to get rid of this error, we are going to call on activity result and pass it the request code, the result code, and the data. All right, so now that we are going to test for the right intent reply, and we are going to do it by using if statement. If the request code is equal to text underscore request, I mean we send this text request, yeah, text request, it was one to the second activity, and then we said that if the request code is equal to this text request, it means that because we sent that request code to the second activity, so if the second activity is calling us back, so it must use the same text request code as we declare it here. So if they are equal, so test to make sure the intent reply now was good. Now we are going to use the result code. Okay, and so for that we are once again going to use if statement. If result code is equal to result, okay, so if this is the same code as sent by the second activity, so then we can get the string, and then we can say data dot get string extra second activity dot extra reply. So we this extra reply is in fact, yeah, this extra reply is this key value, and using this key value we can get this reply text. Okay, going back to the main activity, we also want to make the reply head visible or the text view visible. So for that we are going to use m reply header text view dot set visibility, and here we are going to say view dot visible. So now that text view is visible, we can set the replay and make it visible. So m replay text view dot set text replay, and then m yeah, m replay text view set the visibility of this text view as well. Visibility view dot visible. Okay, so let me run it once again, and I hope that there will be no error this time. So let the Gradle finish its job. Okay, uh, yeah, we are having error in the second activity, and it says com.example explicit intent second activity. And okay, let me check it out. Second activity, extra dot replan. Okay, so we are using this extra. Yeah, it should be extra dot replan. Okay, let me once again check it out. So add variable does not support the value initialization. Mm, okay, extra replay, and this is our com.example.explicit intent. So public static final string extra replay, and two activities. Extra dot replay. Add static object. So I think all these variables are okay. And check them out over here. And going back to the main activity, extra dot message. Okay, let me run it once again. I think I should reinstall this app because sometimes you cannot add changes directly to your app because okay, I think it's running, and let me enter some message. I can say okay. Let me add some changes to my this layout. Let us go to the design, and the text is send text send, and yeah, this I can just remove it because here we are only talking about the hint. So hint, enter your text here. So let me restart my app. I mean, you will see a lot of these types of errors, so do not worry. Okay, Gradle is doing its job, and hope that the changes are applied. Okay, now we can see that enter your text here. So I'm going to say hello second activity and send this text. So you can see message received, hello second activity, and here we can type something like hello main activity and send the reply button. Okay, so the reply button is doing nothing, and this is because we haven't added. Yeah, so this is the first thing is that I should remove this text, add a hint, enter, replay here, and then if I go to this second activity, we were having a method, return reply. So let me copy it and go to the second activity code, reply button, and on click we have this return reply. So add these changes to our app, and I hope that we will be able to run this app now. I'm going to go back. I think we can restart our activity from here. So it is explicit intent. Yeah, this one. So I'm going to write hello second activity and click this send button. Yeah, everything is looking fine. Here I can once again write hello main activity and click this reply button. Now you can see that we are back to the reply received hello main activity, but we can also always change this layout because we figure out that this was too much, at the top, and I'm going to leave it as it is. So with that, we are done with this explicit intent. I'll see you in the next class. Take care.